order. Please stand for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion about the agenda? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Public forum limited to agenda items. Anyone wish to address the council? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second? Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion in regards to the consent agenda?
I just have one comment. I provided a corrected, set of minutes on your desk, and I highlighted the corrections on it for you.
You want to point out what they are so they don't have to read it?
Yeah, on the top of page 2, there's a motion under that resolution item. And I had Holter in there made the motion, and it should have been verbal, so I just corrected that. And then on the third page, on the motion that extended that went back into the executive session for 15 minutes, there was a little bit of confusion on who made the motion and who seconded it, so we've got that resolved and verified, so that was a correction on that one.
Okay, any discussion with council? Questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Number 6, charter ordinance number 19, Randy?
Thank you. In your packets this evening, you should see a copy of Charter Ordinance number 19, in parentheses 2106. This has been drafted by Susan. And this is the establishment of a fund within the city of Marion for the transient guest tax that we will, this is the enabling authority to do that. We're still working through the issue with the county. Susan has also provided some language for them, and we hope to get that done relatively quickly. A couple of points of emphasis this evening is, first of all, I want to assure you that this is not a new tax for our residents. It is a tax that guests in our hotels pay when they come here and are temporarily located here, even for one night. The existing funds in the county accounting fund will stay there. The city of Marion is not asking for any transfer of those funds. We've been very clear with the commission about that. So this fund will only be going forward. We hope to make it effective April the 1st. There's some deadlines associated with that. We need to get all of our paperwork, which is a copy of this ordinance, a copy of the county's resolution, and cover letter and some other documentation to Topeka by February the 28th, which allows the Department of Revenue enough time to process that and point the funds that are collected by the Elgin Hotel and the Country Inn to the city of Marion instead of county of Marion. Susan, you have anything you want to add?
No, I sent the information over to Tina Spencer at the county last week. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if Randy contacted her today. That was my intent. I didn't get that
I've
done.
not called her today. I think they have a pretty full agenda initially. So I'm asking your approval for this so we can get on down the road with it. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer, or try to answer.
How much will that amount to on an annual basis?
Well, between the historic Elgin and the Country Inn, right now they pay in, these are pre-pandemic numbers, somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $16,000 a year, which will come to the city of Marion. And then the city of Marion, these funds are designated for tourism, advertising, promotion, marketing, those kind of things for the city. be looking to have some money finally to spend.
That's the only thing they can be used for.
Correct, you are correct.
And the county's currently assessing that tax, so that's
Yeah.
why there won't be any increase.
Right, no increase at all. The Elgin and the Country Inn are now paying that tax to the Department of Revenue, and it's refunded back to the county. And we're just asking, we're taking steps to opt out of the county's fund.
Has the county been spending that money, or?
We have, as the Marion Merchants, have been to them, I wanna say 2 times in the last 2 years for some advertising dollars to create, you know, I think you've all seen some TV videos, some advertising that we paid with for KSN or KAKE, I'm not sure which TV station. But we've gone over there and asked them for those funds, and they've been generous in allowing us to have those. There are other funds, I mean, all the cities in the county can take advantage of that. Ramona, previously their Redneck Celebration, Labor Day at Florence, Peabody's 4th of July, Gossel and their Heritage Days. You know, so the rest of the communities in the county will still have that $53,000 to request funding from. Yes, you-
Was that originally all given to the county because, they did have their own Echo Vivo at one point in time? Is that why
The
they never
history,
did?
I've not been able to determine how
Okay.
this thing allocated, but the way it did.
Okay.
In 2008 was when the
Oh.
state put this tax in place.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know what the organization was here in the city at that time.
Yeah,
Hillsborough opted out on day one. I mean, they created their own and
Uh-huh.
opted out day one. And I suspect this was something that, since we had an economic development person at the county, probably just slid right by.
right, okay.
So for all these years, we've not had designated funding for our community.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Randy.
Any further questions? I entertain a motion to approve charter ordinance number 1921-06, legal authority to establish transit gas tax for the city.
Has been moved.
And a second,
Second?
and moved and seconded, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Tiffany, USD 408 support request invoices.
In the packet, or I believe there's 3 invoices included in there, from USD 408. That is really all the discussion part I know of this, so I'll look to Susan, if she has anything else she wants to add, or Dave, either one of you.
There's a question as to whether or not you wanna go ahead and pay those, invoices to the, school district. There's been some discussion about, well, as you know, I think we've had some questions about the way that the pool was being run and things going on at the pool. And so, we've asked that you put this on, and I think Roger also provided some information as well with regard to past management of the pool. I can answer what questions you want, or I know, we're lucky enough that Dave actually was the city administrator when all this started.
That's true.
Um,
Or I can hide in it, I don't know.
I guess if you have a question, ask, and I'll see if I can answer what you wanna know.
So apparently they're still not meeting with us to discuss any of this stuff?
No.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, Roger has contacted Aaron, and there's not been a meeting set up yet.
Would it be possible, Susan, if we got a mediator and had the boards meet?
The school would have to agree to that. You know, the interlocal agreement says that if there's a disagreement, then the superintendent and the city administrator are supposed to get together and work that out. And I think even Dave had a meeting where that was brought up, and they were told to work it out, and that hasn't happened. I think we could ask them if they wanted to have a mediator.
This is where the mediator would help if we can agree.
Yeah.
Well, that was the letter of agreement that expired in 2010. And I left in January 1, 2011, and it's never been that updated at all.
But I think.
But one of the things that they're asking for is, $9,000 worth of insurance, and that's not in that letter agreement anyway.
Yeah, it's my understanding that the insurance that they're asking for was specifically not part of any expense that the city was supposed to pay.
And this is why I think if we meet with them, maybe we could work out some of these details.
And that would,
Information from both sides.
yeah, that's totally up to you guys if you wanna extend that offer to them to meet to get together.
Well, I just seen Nick come in, maybe we could ask him if they would be willing to meet with us.
Okay?
Is that,
Nick, would you be willing to meet with the city council and a mediator to settle this dispute over these expenses?
yeah, absolutely. If that's what it takes, I guess, whatever.
Well, we need to come to some kind of decision.
If we meet with a mediator, it's gonna cost us money though. We'll have to pay a mediator.
Well, it might be worth it in the long run.
Well, if we can discuss it, I don't see the problem why we can't discuss it with them. I'm not sure why we need a mediator of any kind.
Well, so far, we haven't got very far. With any
It's,
of the
ball's not in our
arrangements.
court. We asked to meet, and we've heard nothing. Roger sent an email to Aaron, even offered to buy his lunch, meet him over lunch and discuss some of these items. Hadn't had any return at all.
Well, I personally think it's got to the point that it needs to be handled by the board and the council.
Well, I'm not necessarily denying that, I'm just talking about, I don't see a need for a mediator.
Okay, well, we could take out the mediator then. And just request a meeting between the council and the school board.
Anybody else have anything they wanna say? Gary? Chris? Susan?
Anything?
I think if we can meet with the board and council, I'm trying to get it worked out.
Well, we've got invoices on the agenda as we speak.
I think we should hold those until we can meet.
And I'll make a motion to deny any further financial payments to the school district related until such time dispute resolution is achieved. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Nay.
Abstain.
Motion carries 4-1.
That's 4-1.
Oh, 4-1, I'm
Abstentions
sorry.
go with the
I'm sorry, you're right.
Central Park Memorial, Margot.
I think you had a picture of the bathing swan in your packet. Do you have any concerns about this or anything? We do have a check from the Good Family to pay for it in full. Supposedly installation's not supposed to be that big a deal, so.
Is
I
there
don't
any,
know.
what's the maintenance, is there gonna be any maintenance on it, Margot, or? I think that's probably the only concern.
I know,
What will be our
There's
responsibility?
constant maintenance with that anyway, isn't there? So it's probably not gonna be any different.
Well, I don't know that they'll, I mean, we have issues with the pump, but I don't know that, it would cause anything with this swan thing. I was gonna meet with the guys last week and we never got around to that because they got pulled off. We were short on trash help, and so I have not met with the park guys yet, but I asked the company about the installation and they just said that it shouldn't be any big deal, either bolt it or weld it, might have to drill some holes. I wondered about and I mentioned to Bob Good, that once things are the cities in, we do have concerns about, okay, what if it breaks or what if it needs something or, but, I didn't get a whole lot of comment about that. I think they felt like for now they did the big part, you know, paid for it, so. I don't know, it's something that has come up over the years from time to time, and there seems to be some interest in it.
The picture shows two.
Pardon me?
The picture shows two swans.
Yeah, it's
But
because
just one that's being purchased.
it's just one on our centerpiece. This was a better picture than the picture I had that, wasn't reproducing well.
Okay.
There was a picture in the Marion Record back, in July of 19, and, I couldn't get it to reproduce well enough, so I went with this one. But it's the same swan.
Purchased the swan from this, you know
I-
where it came from?
Yeah, I don't know, but
So this Robinson Iron plans to install it, is that what this, no?
no, they're shipping it and saying, here you go. Yeah, and they said that it's made out of iron, so we could either weld it or bolt it to the top. And they said if you bolt it, you might have to drill some holes.
So it's just gonna sit there, it's not gonna, is it gonna spew water?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, what's it gonna spew it at?
well, I don't know.
Just wondering.
I hadn't thought about that. I would think we could adjust the amount of spewing.
I would think with our experience with fountains and over the years, we shouldn't have too much trouble with it. I would hope not.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it seems to be something that's important to people that, you know, is something we've been known for so many years. So,
I think it's a no-brainer, let them bring it on
Yeah,
and we
they're
get
paying
it, I
for
mean,
it.
gosh.
okay. Well, do we need a motion or anything, or just a blessing, whatever you guys think?
Yeah, I think we probably ought to have a motion in
Since
regards.
it's city property.
Just one more question, Margot. If it was vandalized, would our city insurance cover it?
I would think so, it's
Over
a,
the deductible.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make sure that Casey's aware of making a note on the policy that we're at that. And give him a copy of the amount for the cost and everything.
Well, I make a motion that we have Margaret order the bathing swan on a rock face. There's a second.
Second.
We got three of them.
Everybody's excited about it.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, we're not done yet.
No, I know.
All those in favor signify by saying
Oh.
aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, 5-0.
Okay, thank you, sorry.
Discussion regarding art in the park event. Margot?
Yeah, I need a little guidance here as to what you're thinking. It's the time of year where I normally place a couple ads with, Wichita, and, not sure what y'all are thinking on that. I know it's early, but,
When's the date of it?
September.
Or weekend.
Art in the park, is that what you want?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it's September, I think it's the 19th and 20th, because we're gonna go to 2 days.
Okay.
Hillsborough is proceeding as if they're having it, they've placed their ad. They are telling people that their application will be available online March 1st. So, just kinda need to know what you guys are, it's kinda hard to have a crystal ball at this point, but.
That's true. Comments?
Like, I think with the vaccination in place, I think we're gonna be good for September. We'll still have to wear masks, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna be as spreadable as it was.
Well, and we've had a plan and we can spread people out and I think it'll be all
Go
right.
for it.
Okay,
That's my opinion, but I'm only one.
I agree.
Anybody else?
Good.
Okay,
that good enough on that? Just a blessing?
you want a motion or a blessing?
I can use all the blessings I can get. That'll work.
The blessing's not for you, Margot.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are good. Water line project, Matt?
Thank you. So, over the last 2 weeks, they did complete the bore underneath the old Cottonwood River bed. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I think they ended up somewhere around 10 feet underneath the flow line of the old riverbed there. And then they went ahead and bored all the way to the south to where where that will tie back across to the east. So all of First Street, with the exception of actually doing the tie-in down there at the very south end, is done, and then connecting those service lines off there is going to be done. The bore from 3rd Street to 4th Street down at Maple that runs by the south side of the concrete plant is also done. And then they went ahead last Friday and bored underneath 4th Street and put the T on and went ahead and connected to, it's in blue here, it's currently in progress, it finished up late Friday, actually connected to the ACTE that they poured underneath Sugar Mill from the previous update. We have not interrupted anybody's water service so far, so, it's gone really smoothly, everything's gone really well so far. And then here in the next 2 weeks, they wanna go ahead and, finish that tie-in on 4th Street, which there's about, I don't know, maybe 75 feet to go back to the north, just a little bit there, so they'll go ahead and do that. Actually do the tie-in at the south end of First Street, and then complete First Street on up to the north, by Main there. And then after that, go ahead and tie in on the east end of the bore that went underneath the Sugar Mill Dam, so up on, Lincoln Street, and then they'll move up to, Miller. This is obviously a perfect world scenario, and, with boring requiring a lot of water, and the temperature's not supposed to be above about 15 degrees most of this week. He may be jumping around a little bit, just trying to keep guys busy. I talked with him this morning, and right now he's actually planning on basically punting on this week altogether and not even bringing guys out, just with the temperatures where they're at. So this is a best case scenario and also a guideline. If he gets a chance to jump in somewhere, he may try and jump in and get something done, but would be best case scenario.
Wasn't part of the holdup on Coble that they needed to get some valves?
Yeah, they were waiting on some of
Are
that
they
stuff.
able to get those yet?
Fittings and valves, fittings and valves, they were missing both.
Okay,
So, and some of that has come in, I haven't checked, I don't know, if we've really had a chance to go out to the shop, cause all of his stuff is stored at the city shop.
yeah,
And I know a lot of that came in, I don't know if the exact right things to be able to knock out Cobalt have come in yet or not.
okay.
So, and then all of a sudden, this temperature looked like it was gonna hit, so we didn't go digging around through the piles to see exactly what we have.
Anybody else? Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Move number 11, we have anybody on the council who wish to address any issues? Or bring up anything good?
I would just like to know if we got an extension on the solar field up at the industrial park.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
And I know if they haven't been up there, it was in the next,
Well, they have when I was there Friday.
we talked about that at staff meeting, and Tim was hoping to have crews up there. Now, like I said, I don't know that that happened or not yet, but I think that's one of their next projects on the
Okay,
list.
well, I was just interested in the extension to make sure
I
that
think-
that's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think the person that's gonna come over and assist,
I don't know that.
one of the cities, I'm thinking McPherson, but that could be wrong. I know they're supposed to be here, I think, from what I remember, next week.
Well, I hope not in this temperature.
Well, they're coming over to to tell them how they did theirs and what they need to do and all that. Don't hold me to that, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I know there's a city that's coming that's already done it, that's gonna assist
Help
us.
us out, okay?
Anybody else? Clinton, you got anything?
Nope.
Randy?
Nothing further.
Mario? Susan?
I do have a question, so
Yeah.
I heard your motion with regard to the school district, so are you directing me to contact the school district? You gonna wait till Roger gets back to contact them, or are you gonna let them contact us? I just need a little direction.
I think you should write a letter to the school board explaining to them our action we took tonight,
Okay,
so they understand it.
Maybe give them an invitation to meet with us.
okay. Mayor, would you, or Dave, can I give it to you and you look, I'll have you look at it and we'll get it in the mail, hopefully before,
Okay.
well, okay.
All right. Tiffany?
I have nothing further.
Okay. Public forum, anybody wish to address the council? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd love to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
You have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. 5-0.